Brandy, did you want to? I was going to remind you right on cue. I'm really glad that all of you could join me today. Today, we are going to talk about visibility and more specifically, how the way businesses get discovered is changing in 2026. More and more people are not typing out their query into Google anymore. They are using AI tools to ask questions. At least my family is, everybody I know is. And the questions are like, who's the best bookkeeper for a solo business entrepreneur in Surrey? Or it can be, which therapist can help with burnout? Or where can I find indigenous made gifts in BC? These are the kind of questions people are asking AI every day. Now imagine this. Someone asks a question like that, and AI spouts your business as one of the options that they can go to. How cool is that? So, this is the kind of visibility that we are going to explore today, how it works, and how your business can show up there. Before I get started, I wanted to take a minute and ground myself on the wonderful land that I am grateful to be on. I am logging in from the traditional ancestral unceded territories of the Coast Salish peoples, including the Kwantlen, Ketsi, and Semiahmoo First Nations. My name is Archana Samtani. I am a business advisor at WeBC. In my role, I closely work with women entrepreneurs across BC, and I help them with their business foundation, strategy, financial education, readiness, positioning. But more recently, I have been exploring how AI is changing the way businesses are being discovered and how small businesses can adapt early. And that is what brings us here today. I would want to give a shout out to my colleague Brandy. She is on tech support today, and she's the magician who's there behind the scenes to ensure everything goes on smoothly and seamlessly. So thanks, Brandy, for the help. Please let us know in chat where you are joining us from. Tell us a bit about your business. Tell us a bit about you. Okay,
Hmm.
so let's start with a quick scenario. Imagine someone in Nanaimo opens ChatGPT and asks, can you recommend a business coach for women entrepreneurs? AI starts looking across the internet. It checks websites, LinkedIn profiles, directories, reviews to understand which businesses may fit that request. Now imagine it finds your business, but your website describes you as a marketing consultant. Your LinkedIn profile describes you as a business coach, and a directory listing, maybe your local chamber of commerce, refers to you as a growth strategist. Now imagine you are the AI system. What exactly are you supposed to recommend? That is where the confusion begins. AI engines don't crawl the web the same way traditional search engines like Google used to. They are not scanning for keywords or ranking pages. Instead, they are trying to understand meaning. To do that, they pull information from structured sources like your website, LinkedIn profiles, directories, and we will discuss this in a bit. When those sources give conflicting signals, AI hesitates. And when it hesitates, it does not recommend you. So, to understand why, we need to look at how AI actually interprets information. AI systems use something called semantic matching. It means, in simple terms, it means they match meaning, not words. They're trying to understand things like who you help, what problem you solve, what outcomes you create, where you operate. And with that information, when that information is clear, when that information is consistent, AI can confidently recommend you because it's understood you. When it's vague or it's scattered, it doesn't understand, it can't recommend. And you will be surprised How many businesses online are vague without even realizing it? Now, because uh, some businesses are vague not because they are bad businesses, but because clarity is a bit harder than what it actually looks like. Uh, Now, when information is missing, AI doesn't stop working. Instead, it fills in the gaps using large scale patterns from across the internet. This is the moment when we think AI is making up information or making things up. But what is actually happening behind the scenes, what AI is actually doing, is that it's predicting the most likely answer based on the information available. And when business descriptions are not clear, AI often defaults to larger, more established brands, simply because the signals of the larger brands online are stronger and easier to interpret. And that's exactly why this conversation matters. AI engines can't recommend what they do not understand. If your business isn't clearly defined online, it becomes invisible to these systems. And understanding starts with clarity. So, the fancy word of the day, which is AIEO, stands for AI Engine Optimization. But at its core, it simply means making your business easy for AI tools to understand, to categorize, and to recommend you. That's it. This is not gaming the system. It's not about complicated technology. It's definitely not about chasing an algorithm. Half of the times I don't even understand what it is. Um, it is about clarity. Think of it like introducing yourself to a smart assistant, an assistant that genuinely wants to help you and other people find the right answers, find the right businesses. But it can only work with the information that you give it. So if you introduce yourself clearly, who you help, what you do, where you operate, that assistant can confidently and correctly recommend you. But if your introduction is vague, inconsistent, or incomplete, it can't help you. That is why the conversation is shifting from keywords to meaning, from tactics to identity, and from complexity to clarity. Because meaning matters more than keywords. Identity is beginning to matter more than tactics. And clarity beats complexity any time of the day, every single time. And you know what the good news is? That clarity is completely within your control. So, the question of the day, how does AI decide who to recommend? The answer is actually simpler than what most people expect. AI tools rely on meaning, not just keywords, and we spoke about this in the previous slide. Remember when websites used to repeat the same keywords over and over just to rank on Google? That's not how this works anymore. AI is trying to understand the actual meaning of your business. And it looks for five core signals. One, who do you help? Two, what problem are you actually solving? Three, what do you actually do? Where do you operate? And what outcomes do you create? And if this feels familiar, it should. Because this is exactly the same thing that we WeBC business advisors ask of each of our clients to write clearly in their business plans. In other words, the fundamentals of a good business are now also the fundamentals of being visible in AI. Um, Another thing to note is that AI scans trusted and structured places online to confirm this information. So things like your Google business profile, your website, especially your About Us or services pages, your LinkedIn profile, any online directories that you are in, customer reviews, all of these act as signals about your business. So if those signals are vague or inconsistent, AI becomes cautious and leaves you out. But when those signals are clear and consistent, AI is more confident to recommend you. And that confidence drives visibility. And that is the opportunity that is sitting in front of us as small business owners right now. So, why does this matter? First of all, AI is not technical. Rather, AIEO is not technical. You don't need to code. You don't need advanced SEO knowledge. You definitely don't need a big marketing team. What you need is clarity. We established that. A clear message beats big budgets. AI tools don't automatically favor companies spending the most on ads. They favor businesses that are easiest to understand. And the third point, and I really love this one, is because we women entrepreneurs already excel at this. You always think about who you serve, you think about the transformation you create. You're already thinking about the relationships and the connections and the outcomes that you can create. And this is what AI systems are trying to understand, that relationship piece. And finally, early adopters gain an edge. Most businesses won't pay attention to this shift until they feel forced to. But you are already here, and that matters. So, the truth is that for a business to be successful, clarity of identity has always been the foundation. It is what supports good financial decisions. It is what strengthens business planning. It is what drives effective marketing. AI visibility is the next place where this clarity shows up. So it isn't a brand new skill. It's really just good business fundamentals being applied in a new environment. So let's talk about the 5 pillars that we need to know to build on our AIEO. First one, clear identity. I am repeating this, but it is that important because at its core, this pillar is about precision. AI systems are constantly trying to categorize businesses correctly. And to do that, they quietly look for answers that we spoke about. Who exactly do you serve? What problem do you solve? What category does your business belong to? Where do you operate, that location, that geography? And what is the outcome that you help people achieve? If those answers are broad, AI places your business in a broad category. And broad categories tend to get crowded with competition. So let me give you a quick example. I am a wellness coach versus I help women in Vancouver reduce burnout through structured 12-week stress recovery programs. Which one felt clearer to you? You can put it in chat. Two, you're right. The second option was clearer because it was more specific. It narrows the field and it gives AI something concrete to match when someone searches for help. And that's the key idea here. Clear identity doesn't just improve visibility, it also improves positioning. And that is why this pillar sits right at the top. If AI can't clearly understand you, it cannot recommend you. Period. The second pillar is about alignment across the places that your business appears online. AI doesn't rely on just one source of information. It cross-checks your Google business profile, your website, your LinkedIn profile, online directories, customer reviews. If each of these platforms describes your business differently, AI becomes uncertain. So think of it like you are entering five different rooms and introducing yourself five different ways. Individually, each of those might be accurate, but together they start to blur your identity. AI rewards clarity and alignment. When your business category, target client, and outcomes are described consistently across platforms, AI gains confidence in understanding what you do, and confidence is what triggers those recommendations. So the goal is not to rewrite everything everywhere. It's simply to bring your message into alignment. Pillar three is conversational content. This is where many small businesses unintentionally lose that visibility. So, AI tools are trained on natural language. They are designed to understand how real people ask questions. And most customers don't search in very neat and cute bullet points. They ask questions like, how much does bookkeeping cost for a small business? Or can a business coach help me with my pricing? Or what is the difference between therapy and counseling? Now compare that to the number of websites that describe services like consulting, coaching, support. Those phrases don't give much context to AI. But when your website includes FAQs, detailed descriptions of your product or your service, short client stories as to how your product or your service solved their problem, how did it enhance their lives, you start sending much stronger signals. And those signals help AI understand when to recommend you. So, conversational content doesn't mean writing long blogs. It simply means speaking in a way that AI understands, that people understand you. It means that your language should reflect real questions that your customers are asking. AI can connect those questions and then recommend you. The fourth pillar is authority signals. So, this pillar is about trust. AI doesn't only ask what does the business say about itself, but it also asks what does the internet say about the business. And that is where things like reviews, testimonials, certifications, media mentions, any industry memberships, partnerships become very powerful. If your website says you're excellent, that's amazing, that's helpful. But if five of your customers say you are excellent, that's evidence, that's proof. And that evidence builds trust. AI systems look for those signals across the web. So look at your Google reviews, your LinkedIn recommendations, any presence of that you have in any professional directories, any podcasts or articles or publications that you've been mentioned in. These are all signals of credibility. And the good news is that you don't need to have 100 of them. What matters is consistent, credible proof. Because when AI sees real evidence of trust and expertise, it becomes far more confident to recommend your business. Pillar five, and this is an empowering one, is about training AI. Because you're not just sitting back and waiting for AI to discover your business. You are actually shaping how AI understands it. AI tools learn from patterns and publicly available information, but they also respond directly to inputs that you give them. So You can open ChatGPT or any other AI tool and ask simple questions like, what do you know about my business? How do you describe my products or my services? What questions might someone ask when they're looking for a business like mine? So here's a curious question. Has anybody already done that? Has anybody gone to AI and asked them about what they thought of their business? Not yet. Yes, Alisa and Sandra. Any interesting insights that you came up with when your AI search told you something that you didn't think of? Yes, please unmute.
Actually, when I went to my Facebook, and I do a lot of disability advocacy and a lot of work in that area as a consultant. Some of the AI information was informed about me. And I'm like, okay, well, most of it's true, but for that one little piece, they made an error.
Right? And I feel when any AI gets back to you with something unclear or incomplete or slightly off, that's actually very useful feedback because it means that your public messaging either isn't as clear as it could be or isn't as clear as you thought it was. So you can provide an updated business description and ask AI to refine it for clarity. Or you can test how well your services actually align or your products align with your real customer questions. You can even improve your messaging before your customers see it. And that's the key idea. It isn't about manipulating AI. It is about making sure that AI understands your business accurately. Because when AI understands you clearly, it becomes easier to recommend you. Now, I do understand that during this conversation, I'm constantly saying AI, AI, AI. But I also want to note here that every AI engine is different. So the questions that you give ChatGPT and the information that gets sent out to you will be different from what you do with Gemini, what you do on Claude, what you do on Grok. So it will be interesting to see if you do it over 3 or 5 AI providers to see what the similarities and the differences are. So, up until now, we have talked about how AI works. Now we're going to put it in practice. Because when you get this right, you strengthen several things at once. Your visibility, your positioning, your messaging, and even your confidence when talking about your business. And remember, this isn't just for AI. This clarity will help your customers, will help your partners, will help your lenders understand what you do better. So, Brandy, my colleague is going to put a worksheet in chat. If you could download it, and let's quickly flip to section 8, which is page 3. The link is in chat. Could everybody get it? Yes? Okay. Flip to page 3, section 8. We are going to spend a few minutes filling in this simple template where you will build on a 3 to 4 sentence paragraph that clearly explains who you help, what problem do you solve, what category your business fits into, where do you operate, and what outcomes do your clients experience? If you get stuck, don't aim for perfect, aim for specific. Take a few minutes to work on that 3 to 4 sentence paragraph, and when you're done, put it in chat. If you are willing to share it, feel free to put it in chat. So let's take maybe 5 6 minutes. It's 10:27. By 10:35 we should at least have some paragraphs in front of us. And for all those who are willing to share it in chat, please do share it in chat so we can continue this conversation. So let's take those 5 6 minutes. Remember, don't aim for perfect, aim for specific. Yes, it is important to say where you are based, even if you are remote or online, because rules and regulations from of USA is different from Canada, is different from Iceland, is different from UK, is different from Korea, right? So every country has different rules and regulations. So it's better to be a bit more specific with AI in terms of geography as well. And you can mention in your description that I can service folks in any geography. Remember, we are not aiming for perfect. We are just aiming for specific. You have 5 more minutes to work on that little para. Page
Nice.
3, section 8. That's it.
Thank you.
we wait for everyone, I noticed in the chat that that question was asked. I also have a brick and mortar, and I'm wondering if LinkedIn is as relevant as for service-based businesses.
Good question. Maybe not LinkedIn as relevant as your other channels of marketing or communication for a product-based business. It would be more, AI would more focus more on what problem are you solving and what is the internet saying about you. So your reviews will matter even more.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Mhm. Okay, so I think that's time. And while we are letting you keep that worksheet and work on it yourself, I could see some really interesting paragraphs. Some of them crisp and clear, and if I was the AI engine, I would love them. But some of them were a bit more vague. And circling back to that those vague elements in your paragraph may be something you might want to do um, after this session. Does any one or two people, just because we have so many online and we've got so many good ones shared on in chat, do any one or two volunteers want to discuss their little paragraph and we can see how we can make it crisper or better?
Yes, I'd love to.
Please go
Thanks.
ahead. Thank you.
Okay, so okay, I must just let you know I also do yoga. I teach yoga, but I mean, and I'd love to combine both of these somehow, but right now I've got them as two separate entities. But okay, I'm an SEO consultant and web design specialist based in Nanaimo, British Columbia, and Playa del Carmen, Mexico, helping businesses that need a new website or want to improve their visibility online. Many of my clients struggle with no website or not appearing in search engines when potential customers are looking for their services. I specialize in building beautiful, high converting websites and optimizing them to Google. While I operate from Canada and Mexico, I work with clients across North America and globally to help them attract more leads and grow their businesses online.
I love it.
Oh,
It's
is that what?
comprehensive, it's
Okay.
detailed.
Okay.
Now that you worked on this, is this what you have mentioned on your website, on your LinkedIn profile, on your socials, on any other channels?
Um, on Not so much on LinkedIn because my LinkedIn was hacked and I've never been able to get it back. Which is really sucks. So I have to share a LinkedIn profile with my husband who does the same thing. So it's very odd. Him and I share the same LinkedIn. We share the same Instagram and the same Facebook because the thing is that for the years he's just been giving me my own clients, and then he said to me, okay, you've got to do your own thing. So I've just take care of his things, but it's pretty much the same for him and I. Is that okay? And then whatever, he doesn't like working with women, and I want to work with women, but our websites are two different websites, and we deal with two different people. I prefer women. He doesn't want to deal with women.
And now, can you see the confusion in AI? Who did they recommend?
Well,
So that's the point. So
yeah.
on that note, we'll circle back to your query, and I'm also going to leave my email address at the end of the session for us to have one-on-one conversations with anybody specific to their business.
Okay.
But I just wanted to sow these little thoughts in everybody's minds to see how they can become more visible. So I can see 4 hands up, but no more. So let's start with Mariam.
Hi. I used to have very long, wordy ones. I have cut so much out. So mine is right now, it sounds like this. I am a health and performance coach, but I also think why should I go with coach or consultant? So I just put that out there. I'm a health and performance coach based in Vancouver, BC, helping busy professionals who are looking for improving their health and cognitive focus so that they can achieve their leadership goals. Clients choose me because I help them regain energy and mental clarity.
I love it. Who are these clients? Maybe just talking about a little bit more about them will help AI to send you those clients. And also, I liked when you said coach or consultant. I love that question. That may be an AI question. You can ask AI, what are the pros and cons of using either?
Yeah.
Right?
The reason for that is that I do I'm an academic, so I have done a lot of conferences that kind of
Mhm.
broadens things up. And as a coach, it's been mostly predominantly right now business owners and predominantly women. But I don't want to
Let's
limit.
go for pasta.
Oh, somebody is on mute. So, yeah. Well, I think great points to consider and great points to think over. Um, and I think that's a great question to ask AI to see which one word you want to carry forward
Mhm.
or both.
As for you, you go with advisor. I just
Yes,
want, yeah. Okay.
yes.
Any other feedback?
No, and I don't even want to give all of that personalized feedback on a public forum
Yes.
like this. It's just to get those little, thought waves out there.
Thank you.
You're very welcome, and thank you for sharing. Brandy, did you want to go next? Just because
Sure.
I can see you next.
Yeah, okay. So I am a quilt artist, educator, and NACQJ certified quilt judge based in Summerland, BC, Canada. I specialize in helping quilters transform from traditional quilting into expressive art quilting, guiding them from technically capable to creatively confident and artistically distinct. Through online quilt education, one-on-one creative mentorship, and the award-winning Quilter on Fire podcast, I help quilters develop a recognizable artistic voice and a sustainable creative practice rooted in self-care. I'm the author of children's picture book Christie's Quilts, and I'm known internationally in the quilting community as Quilter on Fire because I'm also a firefighter. Quilters who work with me stop making work that looks like everyone else's and start making work that is unmistakably their own.
I love it. If you had to condense this into 2 to 3 sentences, that would be the challenge because you are just so amazing.
Oh.
How could you communicate all of this awesomeness in
Yeah.
3 sentences?
I have to tell you that this exercise is so perfect because I literally just answered the questions.
Yeah,
And then I threw my answers into AI and said, refine this for me. And then
yeah.
my last question for AI was now rewrite it in a way that helps AI find my business first above all other quilting brands.
Amazing, right?
And that's what it came up with in the end. So
And I think it was just so lovely when you were reading it out. I was like, wow, she is so amazing.
it's the podcast voice, I think.
Right?
Maybe.
Well done. Thank you
Thank,
for sharing.
thank you.
Ellen, you are next on my screen, so.
Thank you very much, Miriam. I'm really getting a lot of value out of this. Thank you. So Investor Q&A is training to support women raising venture capital and other finance. We work with women who are leading startups and who have established businesses that would like future investment. Women raising venture capital are faced with unconscious biases and therefore raise only 3% of all the venture capital. We have helped women raise $30 million for their businesses over the last couple of years. We do that by helping them understand venture capital and providing a simulation console where they can practice privately and get automated, unbiased feedback about their answers to investor questions. We operate in Canada and the US.
I love it. It is just so amazing. You've defined your niche, which is women. You've defined your geography. You've defined what you've said, which is lovely. Again, the challenge is how do you condense it? Very, very well done. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, thank you.
I do have four more hands up, and I do have a bit more to share, but can we then quickly go over the next four uh, ladies? Judith, did you want to go next?
Thank you. I'll just read it. I didn't involve AI, but I offer in-person and remote training and share a free app to help new Canadian leaders, supervisors, and teams of workers in nonprofits, corporate, and government to deal with difficult behaviors and relationships to improve team behaviors, increase productivity, and reduce turnover. Clients choose me because we are comprehensive, current, and specialize in targeted outcomes post a clear analysis of organizational issues and needs.
I think you have defined what you do very, very well. Thank you so much for sharing that you did not run this through AI. Now the magic will be after running it through AI and getting it to refine it and summarize it or condense it to see what it gives out.
Thank you.
And will that add to your positioning, your branding, your communication?
Great. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome and thanks for sharing. Nancy, did you want to go next?
Sure, thank you. I also did not run this through AI. I followed your template exactly.
Yeah.
So we are a document services company based in Canada, helping medical, industry, and regulatory professionals produce documents that are ready for litigation, decision-making, and presentation. We offer audio transcription, report formatting and editing, quality control, and verification of AI-generated drafts to help them achieve professional quality documents ready for scrutiny. Clients choose us because we're experienced, meticulous, responsive, and tailor our services to meet their specific needs.
I like how you have defined so well who your client is and why will they need you.
Okay.
Again,
Thank
like
you.
I mentioned, the magic will be to see after you've done it through AI, how it spruces it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're very welcome and thanks for sharing. Kerry Lee, I have you next on my screen. Did you want to go next?
Yeah, sorry. Hi, it's nice to talk to you. Yeah, this is a great workshop. I have mine here. It's a Nanaimo musician, writer, and filmmaker. Carrie Lee McDowell offers creative coaching for artists, musicians, writers, and filmmakers. Carrie Lee McDowell offers guidance and positive progress and results with music writing, film careers, and grant writing. Now, I'm also a guitar teacher, but I'm kind of focusing more lately on helping my more mature clients. So, I also do that too. My main website, though, is mostly focused on guitar lessons, and I'm just in the process now of switching it over.
Yeah, and I think that would be the disconnect because if this is the messaging you're trying to send out, but your website says otherwise, then there is that discrepancy.
Yeah,
There's that confusion.
yeah, it says Ocean View Guitar Lesson or Ocean View Guitar Studio and Creative Services.
Yeah,
So the creative services is all this, right?
yeah.
So
But
what would you
focus
suggest?
maybe on defining it a bit more. And we can have a one-on-one session, advisory sessions purely for your business because this is a forum of 120 other people.
Sure, okay.
Yeah. I have one last hand up. Olfat, did I get that pronunciation right?
Yes, hi, thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, absolutely.
Great, thank you. So what I do, I help commercial and industrial building owners and operators across BC turn energy audits into implemented upgrades that cut operating costs, reduce carbon, and improve comfort without getting lost in a 100-page report.
I think if I was my colleague reading your statement in our business plan, I would have loved it because it's just so clear, very well done. Did you run it through AI?
I did.
Oh, well,
I did something first, and then I was like, oh, how do I make this better? Okay, so can I put it shorter?
absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
All right. I know that there are questions in chat, and if I don't get to answering all of them during today's session, I will leave my email address and we can talk about it later. So I have a before and after example as well. And I thought the after example was very well done because I ran it through AI and I got a better spruced up comment because I felt that a human will also be able to understand the after statement more than the before statement. Okay, now that you've built this paragraph, here's where it really starts to matter. Don't let it just sit in that notebook. Deploy it. Use it to update the key places where your business shows up online. You like your Google business profile, your website, especially your about or your services pages, your LinkedIn profile if you have one, your company LinkedIn profile if you have one, social media bios, aligning how your business is described across platforms accounts for at least 70% of that AIEO success. And you know what the good news is? You're not building anything new. You're simply strengthening what already exists. If you take only one action away from today's session, let this be the one. Because when your messaging is clear and consistent, AI can understand your business more confidently, and that will lead to recommendations. One final tip. Most businesses write that message once and never revisit it. But your business evolves. So come back to this paragraph at least once every 6 months. As your business grows, your identity should become sharper and more precise. And that clarity will continue to work for you everywhere, wherever your business shows up. So before we wrap up, I want to leave you with one important reminder. You do not have to figure all of this out on your own. At WeBC, clarity sits at the center of everything that we do. So if you like support in strengthening your business identity, there are several resources available for you. Every other Wednesday, we run a session that walks entrepreneurs through how to write their business plan. It is a part of our Starting Your Business information session, and it's designed to help you lay a strong foundation for your business. Then we've got our on-demand learning programs that help you deepen your understanding of marketing, operations, financial management, and even viability of your business. We've got a fantastic mentorship program where you can refine your positioning with guidance from peer mentors or even one-on-one mentors when our intake opens. We've got our paid business plan review service, which is designed to help you strengthen clarity in your business plan for yourself as well as for lenders if you need that service. And of course, we've got our one-on-one advisory support with our team of business advisors. WeBC also gives out business loans to entrepreneurs who are wanting to start or grow their business. So everything we talked about today, precision, consistency, trust, isn't separate from good business fundamentals. They are the fundamentals. AI visibility is simply the next place where this clarity shows up. AI is changing how businesses are discovered. But the good news is this: you do not have to be tech savvy to be visible in AI. AI doesn't reward the loudest business. it rewards the clearest one. So I want to thank you for being here today. I know we've got very, very few minutes, maybe to address a couple of questions. On the screen right now is my email address. I will be excited to see how your business starts showing up more clearly and confidently where you belong, where it belongs. Please feel free to reach out to me for a one-on-one chat about today's session, or if you run into any challenges while implementing what we discussed, I will be very, very happy to help. We do have a quick poll before we take questions. And the poll is also about what is the next AI related workshop that you would want WeBC to have. It would help us know that so we could organize that for you. Meanwhile, let me go right up to check for questions. So there is a question in chat. Does social media content, which is Facebook and Instagram, inform AIEO? It does. Again, it depends on the AIEO engine that you are referring to, but most of it does. Mostly it counts. Can AIEO scrape videos as well? Example, YouTube and IG content. Well, some can, some can't. As of now, very little video content is being scraped through because of privacy regulations, like on Instagram and TikTok, etc. But mostly mentions are being factored into AIEO. There's a question in chat. I haven't touched LinkedIn in years. How important is that for a brick and mortar store? I would say as many touch points as you have with a customer that can be relevant and recent will just add value to your AIEO. I know there is one hand up. Kimmy, did you have a question?
Hi, thanks so much. I'm wondering if you have multiple businesses, like I have a sustainability consulting business, and then I'm developing a product business. So how do you go about presenting both and getting discovered with AI?
I think individually, and that's a very good question because so many of our clients have different businesses. I think you'll need to do the same steps for each of your businesses separately. Because if there are no synergies, then you may not be able to blanket your statements or your communications across all channels for both businesses. So you'll have to do it separately for business, your commodity business, and you'll have to do it separately for your sustainability business.
And it's totally fine that it's the
Yeah.
same person. Like
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
not going to cause confusion. It's just being clear on what one business is and being clear on what the other is.
Is it the same person or the same business name?
It'll be the same person, but totally different business names.
Exactly. So the what AIEO will provide is the business name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay, there are questions in chat, and I'm just going to randomly pick. How to send a clear message when we manufacture, sell B2B and B2C online and have a brick and mortar? It's actually simpler, I think, with a product-based business. It's actually been a bit more challenging with a service-based business to get your messaging clear. What problem do you solve? Who do you solve the problem for? What do they experience when they buy your product? Where are they geographically situated? And you've got your clear message. I can see that we've got our last 2 minutes. Where's the other question? How to stop AI copying from someone else? Good question. When I figure that one out, I will be sure to let you know. Um, but I haven't figured that out myself yet. And my name is Archana Samtani. Thank you so much for being here today. It was wonderful to have all of you online. There is another hand up. Olfat, did you have something to a
Yes,
comment or a question? Yes.
yes. You know what? Wanted to just add to Kimmy's question because she's in sustainability, right?
Yeah.
If she's in the beginning and doing two things, because in the very beginning I was doing that like last year. So if you're signed up for burnout, go two different ways. It's not good to have two different things, to be honest, until you decide, okay, which one do I go with? Because then you are this one person known for that, because that's going to be the challenge, is to be found, right? And if people
Yes.
find you here and there and you're doing this and that, they will be like, what are you exactly? Can we trust you, basically, right? That's
Yes.
the challenge. So just wanted to
Absolutely,
put
you're
that
on
in.
point. Clarity, clarity, clarity. It sits right up there. But thank you so much, everybody, for
Thank you.
joining in. My email address is on the screen. Feel free to reach me through my mail address. And have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.